Ladies and gentlemen,
What's
welcome.
up, guys? Sorry.
You know what? I got interrupted twice just now. Once by you and once by this fucking pop-up. That, that F12 keyboard pop-up that just fucked me up. But yeah, anyway, welcome
No.
to...
I mean, yeah, I was.
welcome to the Big Boy District, ladies and gentlemen. I had,
Mm.
I had planned for that intro to be a little bit smoother, but shit happened. My
Not my
computer...
fault.
No, it was partially your fault, but it was mostly the computer's fault.
No, it was 0% my. Explain to me exactly how any of that was my fault.
Uh...
It clearly was a miscommunication on both of our parts. You said, "Do you want to do the intro?" I said no. Then I assumed that you were just gonna let me do the intro anyway because you love me. But clearly, you're
the,
not as close of a friend as I thought you were.
the one
But
time
no.
I gave you full control of the intro, you cried. You unironically cried through the entire thing. And then you said
I
you
don't know
were
what you're talking
scared.
about. I don't know what you're talking about.
But anyway, we've got we got another spirited episode of the Big Boy District today. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 topics. Not to brag, but I
I have two.
I am the thinking man, and I am up to date on current events in the world. One such event. This is kind of old news by this point, but it's not really because it's kind of an ongoing thing. What's your opinion on this Elon Musk versus Twitter situation?
So I thought he bought Twitter.
I did too. Like I thought he was done, but apparently he just
Yeah.
like pulled his dick out of the glory hole at the very last possible second.
Oh, he's not buying Twitter anymore?
So I guess what happened was he was in like the very final stages of the deal, and then Twitter like wouldn't reveal some like information on all the bots on the site, so he backed out of the deal like last second. Like pretty much like his entire signature was on the fucking sheet, but he backed out and Twitter got mad, so they're suing the shit out of him now. So they're pretty much suing him to buy Twitter. And the thing about taking this to court is that Twitter now has to legally disclose the bot information to Elon Musk. So that's pretty much the situation. I'm not really on anyone's side, to be honest, but that's the situation as it stands.
Oh yeah, I don't care about any of these entities, but like my question is if he was gonna buy it, like, wouldn't they have just given it to him once it was his anyway?
I mean, that's kind of what I thought, but like the whole time I'm thinking, because when he was teasing like, oh, I'm gonna buy Twitter, he kept posting these polls on his account where he was like, so what's everyone's opinion on free speech on Twitter? Does Twitter do a good job of enforcing free speech policies and whatnot? And then he would always add at the end, like, your answer will determine like the outcome of Twitter, or like the decision you make will matter. And
like a fucking Heavy Rain type video game.
Yeah, like in the
butterfly effect is in effect here.
The way I've sort of always seen it from the beginning is I was like, he might buy Twitter, he might not, but either way, Twitter is not going to change. Like, what would Elon Musk really do to change Twitter and make it less of a toxic cesspool? Like,
he would enforce
he could just
free
delete
speech.
He could just get rid of Twitter.
Yeah, that would
altogether.
be cool. Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
See, who needs Twitter when Truth Social exists?
I would be unironically cool with Elon Musk like shutting down Twitter. Like,
I would too.
I'm not Elon Musk's like biggest fan, but that would make me like him a little bit more.
I think Elon, if the Twitter thing doesn't work out, which it probably won't, he should look into Truth Social. Which brings me into my next topic, which is connected to this one. It's pretty much the same thing. But Elon Musk versus Trump.
I don't know anything about that.
So Trump, oh fuck, okay, I gotta remember the tweet. I might have to look it up. But Trump tweeted like it was like a picture of Elon Musk, like him and Elon Musk took a picture together, and Trump tweeted like, Elon Musk says he he never voted Republican, but he voted for me. And then he went on to say stuff like, I could have Elon Musk on his knees begging for whatever. Like, I gotta find the tweet because I can't remember any of the
Jesus
context.
Christ.
But there's like apparently a big feud between Elon and Trump, and it's got Twitter in a fucking rampage shitstorm right now because people don't know whose side to be on. Because
Well, they're pretty hateable people.
yeah, so but the thing with Twitter is someone's got to be the hero. It's just like when it boiled down to Joe Biden versus Trump, and it was very obvious that both choices completely sucked. But Twitter was like, "Oh, but Joe Biden though." And it was just like, but
Joe Biden
both of
sucks,
them
though.
suck. Like, but that's the way Twitter is. Twitter is so goddamn black and white. Like, there has to be a good guy and a bad guy in every scenario. There's always got to be someone to root for and someone to hate. So Twitter is just in a shitstorm right now because they're like, who do we root for, Elon or Trump? We hate them both. It's amazing. I'm having a good time with it.
Jesus.
And the whole
Cody
time,
just following the billionaire drama over here.
yeah, I need to find the fucking tweet though. Donald Trump, Elon drama. Donald Trump
Origin story.
versus Elon. If you guys are listening to this podcast for political drama, just wait until we get to one of my final topics. That's the best one of them all because it's actual drama. It's not just like two like super dumbass multi-corporate billionaires having a feud with each other. The Donald Trump-Elon Musk feud, a complete history. The former president escalated the budding feud on July 12th, attacking Musk's various endeavors of Truth Social posts. Yes! Truth Social. You know what Truth Social is?
I do not.
It's Donald Trump's version of Twitter. It's like his new social media site. And
Is it good? Is it any good?
Well, instead of tweets, they're called truths.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty on brand for Donnie. Yep.
And I don't know if this is true, but I've heard instead of a retweet, it's called a retruth. And every time I hear that...
That's so dumb.
Truth Social. But, like, is it even possible to post misinformation on a social media website like that? Because doesn't it just become the truth?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it works now. The internet determines reality. We switched sometime about 2018, I think.
Apparently you have to, like, apply to join Truth Social, and a lot of applications get rejected.
Oh, that's funny. Do you have any history of associating with Democrats?
I like to think Donald Trump personally looks through the applications himself, and he's just like,
that would make me happy.
I don't believe this person understands America enough to join Truth Social. They're not going to retweet my truths to the fullest extent of the truth. It's fake news, I tell you.
It's fake fucking news.
Oh, man.
That's a pretty good Trump impression. Did you have to learn how to do that, or?
I wish I could do a better one, because nothing gets me going like a good Donald Trump impression. Like, I think when someone can do like a good Donald Trump voice, that shit just makes me laugh. Like, Djibouti Dubs. Fucking, they have a guy on Djibouti Dubs who can do like a perfect Trump, and he just did like, he only did it once, and it was like a throwaway like one-liner joke, but it was so fucking funny. It was like Donald Trump and Willy Wonka, and he's like, I demand every chocolate bar in America. Sometimes I forget Trump's not president anymore. Like, I really do.
Sometimes forget that Trump ever was president. I don't really think about him too much.
Like, I don't know if what it is about Joe Biden. Maybe he sleeps too much. But he doesn't do anything. I miss the days of Trump, where Trump would just randomly tweet at North Korea, like, hey, fuck you, and fucking I'm gonna nuke the shit out of you, and I'm gonna flex the US nuclear arsenal on Twitter. Oh, dude, that was fast times at Ridgemont High when Trump was in office. But with Joe Biden, it's just like, what the fuck, man? Where are you? I mean, okay, Joe Biden's presidency is still pretty eventful, just in a different way. It's always like, Joe Biden falling off a bike or something. Falling down some stairs.
Fuck Joe Biden. I could watch Joe Biden fall off a bike every day of the week.
Sleepy
I
Joe.
want.
Hashtag.
Everybody always assumes I got a political stance one way or the other, and it's like, nope. As soon as you're in office, I automatically hate you. Even if you're like a good politician, I just kind of hate you.
See, that's my thing with politicians and why I kind of hate all of them. Is like, you know how in like Lord of the Rings they thought like, let's give the Hobbit the ring because he doesn't care about power. I feel like those are typically the best types of people to be in power. Like people who don't want the power, but they feel obligated to be in that position because they feel like they can genuinely change something. But most people in power are just like, yeah, power, all right. And it's kind of shitty.
Fucking yeah, like fucking rubbing their nipples and shit. Like, oh,
Granted,
power.
I just made the most obvious childlike argument on the planet. Like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if people in power were good people? I should bust out a fucking coloring book, but
Do you have one?
I wish.
That'd be really
Just
nice.
kidding. I don't wish. I don't wish I had a coloring book.
Oh, bro. I would love a coloring book right about now.
But
I'm playing Stellaris and my society is collapsing. Do you want to play by play on how that's going down?
oh yeah.
Okay, so basically, by my empire in space is called the Holy Mid Empire, and they follow a religion that basically makes them the chosen people of the galaxy, and they need to take over and guide the other species, and so they kind of do that by enslaving them essentially. Um, and yeah, I relied too much on the slaves, and now my slave worlds are revolting, and so I'm not getting any resources in, and so yeah.
Damn.
Mhm.
That's
There's
pretty
gonna
in
be
depth.
yeah, I'm having to send a whole army of their own people in to put them down because I do have a slave processing plant where I can make like basically thoughtless drones out of them and turn them into soldiers. So I'm sending like an armada of their own people at them that are under my control to like basically subjugate them and put chips into their heads too because I just made it legal to do that even in non-soldier slaves.
It's funny you're playing like this like super deep ass like actual strategy game, and I just got done replaying fucking the Revenge of the Sith video game, which is literally just like slice up droids. That game,
Did you finish it? Did you finish the game?
yeah. So like, I feel like you probably already know this, but the fucking that secret ending though.
Yeah, the one where he kills Palpatine.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Fuck you,
Yeah,
I'm taking
yeah.
over."
Yep, and because he kills Obi-Wan in that one, and it's like, yep. Anakin without, like, Palpatine got kind of lucky that Obi-Wan did that, TBH, because Anakin
Yeah.
was, without turning into Vader, would have been so much more powerful, just because he wouldn't have been so injured.
For real, that game still slaps really hard though, because I remember playing it when I was a kid, and I never beat it when I was younger because I sucked at it. So I got to the Grievous fight, and I couldn't beat Grievous. He's fucking hard, and Grievous is insanely hard. Like he is probably the hardest part of that game, is that fucking Grievous fight. But dude, that game is like so good. Like I mean, okay, it's not amazing. I'm not gonna like oversell it. It's still a movie tie-in game, but like
It's pretty good for a movie tie-in game, though.
yeah, just like the Lord of the Rings games, the Revenge of the Sith had a lot of effort put into that shit. Like they weren't just trying to make a quick like, oh, let's make a little video game to accompany the movie and be a little cash grab on the side. Like no, it's really fun, and the lightsaber combat is so good. Like I don't know how the lightsaber combat is still so much fun, especially the one-on-one duels. Like the boss fights and shit are definitely the highlight of that game. And of course the sound effects, but that's kind of a given with a Star Wars game. Sound design is really good. Obviously
Yeah.
there were things about it that were bad, like the voice the voice acting was all over the place. which was really weird because they had a lot of the voice actors from the original Clone Wars show. So you'd think the voice acting would be passable. For the most part, the voice acting is kind of bad. Except for like Obi-Wan. I think maybe Obi-Wan and like Mace Windu were probably the only two characters that didn't have like god-awful voice acting. But yeah, it was a good game.
Very good. I did enjoy it. I thought it was funny how they made like just giant younglings to fight.
Dude, okay, that level, the Jedi Temple, that was my favorite level. That level
Yeah,
fucking
it was. I
slapped.
told you it was cool.
That level was so fun. Literally, like, you're just fighting a bunch of Jedi. You've got Force Lightning. Every enemy is like a little miniature lightsaber duel. It was so... That level was genuinely fun. Like, fun as shit. It didn't even have a boss fight or anything, but I was like, man, this level, I'm enjoying myself. I feel like an asshole because I'm destroying the Jedi.
Culture, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's always that, like,
Committing a
text thing.
cultural genocide.
There's that text that comes up where it's like, "Ooh, Sindralik and his apprentice, Saracato, are all that stands between the death of the Jedi." And it was like, dude, I don't want to win this fight. You're making me feel like an asshole. Like, also, okay,
why are you doing this?
so that game has a dueling mode, and it's 2 player, so you can, like, duel your friends and shit, which we definitely gotta do. But I was just fucking around dueling with the AI, and I was playing as Sarah Kato, and this is when the game did something that really impressed me. So there's, like, when you're in a lightsaber fight, the 2 characters are shit-talking each other the whole time. But what I didn't know is that they made unique dialogue lines for every potential fight. So, like, in this game, you can play as, like, anyone fighting anyone. You can play as Mace Windu fighting Grievous. You can play as Obi-Wan fighting his old man self.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can fight anyone as anyone. So I was playing as Sarah Kato, and I was fighting Darth Vader, and she dropped a line. She was like, "Which one of those buttons calls for help?" And, like, I lost my shit. Not only was that a great line, but it was unique to the situation. And it was like, dude, how many players would even encounter that? Like, how many players would specifically be like Sarah Kato versus Darth Vader to have that specific voice line? Like,
Please give me Sarah Kato versus Darth Vader.
that shit just impressed the fuck out of me. I was like, damn, that was cool. I don't know why. But, like, the shit talking in that game is genuinely fantastic. Like, it's not even so bad it's good. It's just, it's good. Like the shit that they'll say to each other during fights. Like, come on, you're fighting Darth Vader and you say which one of those buttons calls for help? That's fucking awesome. Like,
That is pretty good. That is definitely a good voice line.
oh yeah, I had way more fun with that game than I thought I would. It was good. Solid movie-based game.
Yeah, I have very deep childhood memories of playing that. I remember the double-sadered lightsaber dudes in the temple used to give me a really hard time.
Dude, the fucking green Shrek-looking dudes with, like, the
Yeah,
Darth
yeah.
Maul-style sabers. Yeah, I had a hard
Yeah.
time with those guys, too. Especially when you get to that one part where you have to fight 2 of them at once in that, like, cramped little room. That part was actually hard. I'm trying to think of how I even beat Grievous. Oh, yeah. I came up with a big brain strategy for Grievous. Like, because he literally never stops attacking, so you can never really hit him. So if you bait out his attack, and then instead of blocking, you just dodge repeatedly, you can just wail on him. Until you get to phase 2, and he starts shooting you with a gun. But yeah. Good game. If you're a fan of Star Wars games, I would say definitely take Revenge of the Sith for a whirl. It's a very short game, too. You could beat it in a night. Literally, it's only like 4
it's a
hours
good
long.
game too. I will agree with that sentiment. It is a very, very good game. A very good game for you and me, Cody. Very good.
The animations are really cool because they had the guy who choreographed the lightsaber fights in the prequel movies. They brought him in to help with the game animations, so everything looks cool. And the combat is really satisfying. Like, You'll just be fighting some random like group of droids or something, and you'll press like square, square, triangle, and do like a sick ass like lightsaber flurry combo, and then you'll get to watch all the droid limbs spark and fly around. It's just a fun game. When they made that game, they understood how to make a cool lightsaber fighting game essentially, and you can use the Force too, obviously, but the lightsaber stuff is cooler.
Yeah, the Star Wars games either seem to suck or don't. There's like no real in between, I've noticed.
Yeah.
There's no like average Star Wars games.
One of the very first video games I ever played in my entire life was the PS2 version of Star Wars Starfighter, the
Hmm.
first one. And for some reason, I didn't really like that game, but for Christmas one year, I got Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, which is the sequel, and I had way more fun with that game for some reason. I don't know why. Like, it was pretty much the same, but I actually played it. That was a pretty cool game. It was basically Ace Combat Star Wars Edition.
They're trying to make a movie about like shit like that called Star Wars Rangers, but it's in production hell.
Oh, that sucks. What?
Hmm.
Oh, there was something I wanted to see that was I recently found out got canceled. It was something. Oh, it was the Boondocks reboot. They were gonna.
Yeah, I know. I saw that too.
Yeah, dude, that shit sucked because like it kept getting picked up and dropped by different studios. And then
Yep,
eventually HBO Max was like,
exactly.
"We'll do it," and then they shelved it. Which I don't know. At this point, I don't really want the Boondocks reboot to happen because the voice actor for Granddad died. So
Yeah,
at that point, I'm just kind of like, whatever.
yeah. That it's like yeah. You don't even really want it anymore because I remember when the voice actor for Iroh died on Avatar, they replaced it with a guy who sounded kind of like him, but it wasn't the best in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it was like when they announced that. I think they changed this, but when Futurama was getting rebooted on like Hulu or whatever, and then John DiMaggio wasn't coming back to play Bender, so people immediately just didn't care. They were like,
Now
"Oh, okay,
he's coming back now though.
yeah."
They renegotiated the contract, so that was pretty cool of them.
I think the thing with John DiMaggio too is he wanted like more money for everybody involved. Like he wasn't just trying to like walk out with a
Well,
fat payday himself.
people who do voice acting for a living are often very underpaid, and it sucks because whenever like celebrities that don't usually do voice acting get voice acting roles, they get paid like a lot. So the money's there,
Oh
just not for
yeah,
them. So they want more money, and I don't blame them. I can't blame anybody for wanting more money. We all need more money.
seriously. Well, do you have any specific pinpoint topics to satiate our thirst?
Um, like I said, one of them was that I'm just kind of sucks. I kind of blew through a lot of our topics in our pre discussion. Ooh, but yeah, basically, I I'm trying to get this electric scooter, and it's coming from Europe, and it was like $500, so it better be it better be a good purchase. But yeah, fucking, I'm gonna save so much money on gas because they're offering free RTD rides for all of August, and they're thinking about extending that into all of September because they're trying to get people to take the bus.
Yeah.
And fucking, so I'm gonna save so much because that'll pay for itself after like 3 weeks. Because I spend like 500 on gas in 3 weeks.
Yeah, these
Gas is really
gas prices
expensive.
are fucking stupid right now.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna be taking the bus and using my scooter for the foreseeable future until I can get my hands on like a Honda Civic that gets like 50 miles to the gallon.
Oh my fucking god, dude. I might have already brought this up, but this was unfathomably funny. I was listening to this Some Ordinary podcast, and this was a couple weeks ago. They had Keemstar on one of their episodes,
Uh-huh.
and Keemstar, he fucking, he went on a rant about how, like, dude, this was a heated rant. Like, he was passionate, and it was beautiful. Because the thing was, he wasn't even wrong. But just hearing the words come out of someone, especially Keemstar, was fucking hilarious. He blamed the gas prices on cancel culture, essentially. So he's yelling and getting mad and impassioned while he's describing this. So he's like, so Russia steps out of line, invades Ukraine. What do? Well, we cancel Russia. So now we have more gas prices because we gotta cancel Russia. So now we're paying more for gas because of cancel culture. Whoop-de-doo! And I was dying, and Mudahar was dying. Everybody was just goddamn just crying of laughter. Just hearing someone
Did you realize that they were laughing at him?
like just hearing someone like pinpoint such a complex issue on cancel culture in such a heated way. It was just so funny. Like, I don't know why. But he was going in, man. He was going in on that shit.
So we cancel Russia. But was he like aware they were laughing at him, or did he think that he was like making a good point?
I don't know if Keemstar was aware that this wasn't really so much an instance of cancel culture as much as it was just like global sanctioning, which has happened before. Because cancel culture is a recent development. This is kind of a new thing that people have brought up, but global sanctioning, I mean, that's existed since the dawn of forever. That's basically how we won the Cold War. Like,
yeah,
so,
but
I guess in that sense, cancel culture has been around for a while, and it's a tactic. Like,
well,
also,
you keep avoiding my question, sir.
What question?
I'm very suspicious.
What question?
Oh, was he aware that they were like laughing at him and not with him?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no
Because I
idea.
love it when people don't realize that they're being made fun of. You know what I mean?
See, like, I feel like Keemstar, like, he's pretty aware when it comes to shit like that. I feel like I don't know, the whole thing was everybody was laughing, so he was probably just like, whatever, I'm making everybody laugh. I'm the class clown for this one. So he was probably just okay with it at that point. Have you ever been in one of those situations where you come in with like a hot take and like nobody agrees, but everybody starts laughing and you're like, whatever, I guess I'll just accept the fact that I made a funny joke. That was probably what he was doing.
I've been in that kind of situation before.
Oh, Keemstar. Fuck.
Keemstar.
It's all because we canceled Russia.
All because, but yeah, to bring it back around, I'm excited to get this electric scooter. I'm excited to, lower that carbon footprint.
Hell yeah, I don't have a car. I mean, I just get around everywhere on an e-bike. I've mentioned this before, but I feel like people, probably look at me and think like, oh, look, it's Captain Planet on his e-bike. Yeah. And I'm just like, man, this is the only transportation I got. Like, if I had a car, I would drive it. I don't give two fucks about gassing up the earth. See, the only people who care about that are the people who are, like, famous and have a ton of money and just like to tell you what to do while they burn diesel on their fucking 30,000 gallon tank yacht. Like,
yeah.
The hypocrisy of Hollywood. Yeah. But, on some real shit though, YouTube, I do not endorse the cartels. I am anti-cartel. Cartels are bad. So now that we've gotten that out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why that was so funny. Ladies and gentlemen, this is time for an ad read. Dreamco VCR is here for you, and we have a brand new lineup of plug-and-play VCRs for the kids. So, this is actually a really short ad read. They only gave me a couple sentences here. Go ahead and go to dreamcovcr.com, sign up for your monthly membership. They'll send you a brand new VCR and 2 exclusive VHS tapes to watch every month. Every month. So today we've got Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium on VHS, and we've got the Care Bears movie on VHS, starring the Care Bears. So go ahead and boot up. Also, it's like I said, plug and play capabilities now. You can play games on it. You guys ever played a plug and play console? Well, now we got SpongeBob games you can play with your Dreamco VCR. Yeah! Get tired of watching VCR movies? Play SpongeBob for a little bit. There you go. It even comes with a fun little remote where the joystick is SpongeBob's nose. It's awesome. So yeah, get a Dreamco VCR, sign up, sign your friends up, sign your parents up. They also have a new weekly newsletter we're rolling out to VCR enthusiasts everywhere. So thank you very much, Dreamco. My balls itch. Holy shit. That wasn't part of the ad, by the way. Sorry, Dreamco.
Very good ad read for a very stupid product.
We're not allowed to say that. Hey, editor, can you cut that out, please?
No, don't cut it out. I'm the editor, and I'm not going to cut it out.
Joke's on you. We don't have an editor. You think we edit this podcast? Oh, dear audience. You think we put in any effort?
I barely wrote a topics list for this one.
Effort sucks though. Like editing actually is like awful. Even if you're making like a really fun video, editing it sucks. Like it's so tedious.
I have heard that.
It's tedious, and that's why I like to avoid it at all costs. Alright. Well, so did you know that teabagging is now a federal crime?
No, but that makes sense. I mean, I don't want to be teabagged, do you?
Yeah. I've always felt pretty violated. I've always kind of wished that, like, man, this guy who's
always felt pretty violated?
Oh yeah, I wake up in the morning feeling violated.
Oh,
okay. I'm just in a perpetual state of violation. But basically, yeah, teabagging is, it's not actually a crime, but there's a debate going on as to whether or not teabagging is sexual assault. And I just want to say, anyone out there who thinks that teabagging or getting teabagged in a video game can be in any way construed as sexual assault, you need to go.
I mean, I could see it in real life, but
oh yeah, if someone comes up to you and starts dragging their nuts on you in real life, that is for sure very much sexual assault.
Yeah.
But this is video game, like we're talking video games. There's a debate going on as to whether or not teabagging in a video game can be considered sexual assault. And if you're, one of those people from the joke before, still playing with coloring books and you need me to explain this to you, no, getting teabagged in a video game is not the same as getting, assaulted or raped in real life. It is not even remotely close. And I think that's like borderline almost an offensive comparison to make for like real life victims of actual like sexual assault. Because teabagging in a video game it could not possibly be more different. Like, holy shit. We live in a world of neurodivergence.
Pretty much.
But, like, I don't even know how this whole debate got started, but, like, this whole thing is just making me want to teabag more.
I don't really play any video games anymore where teabagging is an option.
Yeah, now that I think about it, like, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe Counter-Strike, Call of Duty. Like, I'm sure there's like big esports games out there where teabagging is prevalent, but like, dude, that's just the spirit of the game. That's just the heart of the cards. If
So,
you
if
if you get teabagged, that means you did something right. You were pissing off another player somehow, and that's good for you. And if you're doing the teabagging, that means that you just experienced a victory over someone who pissed you off. So good for you. It's not sexual assault. There isn't even like a sexual connotation to it. Like it's kind of like a fucking just one of those like hyper masculine weird things, you know? Like
yeah. Well, it's also just like, yeah, screw, like that's just the nature of competitive games like that is people get like in that mode where they're like, screw you, like, like I'm gonna try to make you as mad as possible because that's like what makes me happy.
exactly.
But yeah, that's a pretty stupid opinion to have. There's a
Yeah.
lot of that going around lately, though. Just idiots that are like now have a voice because of the internet.
We need to destroy Twitter.
Yeah, we need to call Elon and be like, yo, Elo, Belo.
He sends us a poll. He's just like, how do you guys feel about Twitter's use of free speech? Your
Just me
decision
and
will
you.
matter.
And we both vote for different options, so it's just a wash. That's
So
fucking funny, dude.
I
That's
have
so
never
funny.
I've never really developed a full opinion of Elon Musk. Like, he's done some cool shit and he has some really cool ideas, but so
Oh, he's a
much of
baby
his
boy who like doesn't actually invent anything and just uses his dad's blood money to fund projects that usually fail.
yeah, like literally that's the thing is most of his shit fails or doesn't work. And I'm not like trying to use that as like a complete standard of judging him, but at the same time, what else is there, you know? Cuz like I always try to compare Elon Musk in my head to like Howard Hughes and that they're both like weird rich guys who invented stuff and kind of like sparked a revolution in the way humanity goes about certain endeavors. But like Howard Hughes did some super mega fucked up shit too. But like I guess I'd be interested to see like how much of Howard Hughes's endeavors completely fucking failed compared with like Elon Musk, because I know Howard Hughes had some terrible things. Like, do you remember the movie The Conqueror that we talked about? It was like one of the first episodes where John
Yeah.
Wayne plays Genghis Khan. Howard Hughes
Yep.
made that movie, so that was his failure. Like that's an example of a Howard Hughes flop. So I'd be curious to like stack them against each other because I
That
don't
is
know
pretty fucking funny.
like in my head they're just like similar people, I guess. Like they're both just like entrepreneurs that are sort of like we look at them as like pushing humanity forward in a way, I guess. Because Howard Hughes is like, I mean, Howard Hughes did for like aviation and stuff what Elon Musk is more or less trying to do for space. So I guess that's a fair comparison. I don't know. I'm not very smart. Like,
Nah, you're plenty smart, Cody. It's just, there's just the high.
I do my damn best. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you are, bud. I got you, bud. I know you are, bud. It's all good, bud. I love you, bud.
But
I
yeah.
love you, buddy boy. You're my favorite Cody, actually, now that I think about it.
Dude, this is getting like so fucking gay, man. I heard something funny today and I gotta remember it so I can repeat it. Oh yeah, it was like, my name is Pancho. I work on the rancho. I go see Susie. She show me her pussy. Oh damn it, I missed a line, but whatever, it's still funny.
Like, did somebody tell you that, like, genuinely? Like, were they, like, like,
That's one of my coworkers just walked up and casually said it. It was
oh,
like, my name is
okay.
Pancho. I work on el rancho. I get paid $5. I go see Susie. She show me her pussy. I lose my $5.
Jesus Christ.
Just a
This is
subtle hint
fucked up.
of Mexican stereotype in there.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. Just lightly sprinkled on there. I wanted to move on to a topic that you had on your list, which was the assassination of the Japanese Prime Minister.
Ooh, I was just about to jump into that. Yeah, Shinzo Abe, like, fuck, this was like 2 days ago, I think, maybe three. Yeah, he was assassinated by some really, like, deranged, crazy assassin. And I don't really, like, know why the guy, like, actually did it. But they raided his house like right after, and they found some crazy shit in this guy's house. Like they found a 9-barreled shotgun. 9 barrels. Like, okay, you know how when someone has a double barrel shotgun, you're like, oh wow, that's pretty neat. This motherfucker had a 9 barrel, like, custom made Mad Max looking shotgun. And all this other crazy shit in his house, apparently.
That's a
I'm
bit too
gonna
much shotgun, I would say. Just might be a bit too much.
I'm gonna Google it because also there was a funny little bit of misinformation spreading about the assassin of this guy. People were posting pictures of Hideo Kojima saying that he was the assassin. All right, assassination of Shinzo Abe. All right, there's already a Wikipedia page about this. Holy shit! All right.
Oh yeah, bro. People who edit Wikipedia do it like they're paid to do it.
So yeah, the assassin. So the suspect, his name was Tetsuya Namagami.
Wait,
Uh,
he's still alive, right? Or wait, no.
Actually, I
Did they kill him?
I don't know. Actually, this is weird. It says the suspect Tetsuya Yamagami, then 41 years old, was arrested at the scene. So wait, did he like do this on his birthday or something? What the fuck?
Yeah, I guess his birthday must have happened since then. That's funny.
Oh, okay, so it says Yamagami told investigators that he held a grudge against the Unification Church over his mother's bankruptcy and had shot Abe out of a belief that he was close to the group. So he thought that Shinzo Abe was somehow tied to this church group that was making his mother go bankrupt. So he killed him because of that, according to his own account. But
Who knows what he really has going on in his head, you know?
yeah, so like, I don't know, it's just crazy when like a world leader gets fucking assassinated. Like that
Yeah,
shit is just.
I would agree.
But this guy, like,
Especially in Japan.
yeah, yeah, because they don't have guns and shit over there. Like fucking the Yakuza, all their crime organizations are all about like stabby stab. Like, but
Knives! I would much rather be shot than stabbed.
I don't know actually. That'd be a tough one. I almost think depending on where, I guess. Because like bullets don't fuck around. Like those things just literally they burn into you because the velocity literally is like creates all that heat and stuff. So they're burning and they're just ripping and tearing their way through your organs like mercilessly at like so much velocity. And then when they impact a bone, they bounce around and shit, and sometimes they break into pieces. I almost feel like I'd rather get stabbed than shot.
I don't know. I don't know. Just I've seen some knife wounds and that shit's crazy.
Yeah. Either way, oh god,
Yeah.
I'd hate it.
Yeah, I hate thinking about it. It's like, oh god.
So
Uh,
Shinzo Abe, he was really I didn't know much about him until I did some research in the last couple days. But he was pretty polarized, like in terms of, okay, he was extremely polarized with how people viewed him, especially in Japan. Like he was kind of a Donald Trump like figure in the sense that people either loved him or hated him, and there wasn't much in between. I don't really know that much about his like specific political beliefs, other than he apparently was a little bit more on like the right side, but he also did a lot for like women's rights apparently,
huh.
and he was also really like outspoken about trying to get the Japanese people to have more sex with each other. because the
Their
Japan is,
population is dropping. Yeah.
yeah, I think they're the only society in the whole world right now whose population is actively declining. So he's trying to get people to have more sex, like literally. He's like, "Hey guys, you should fuck." And I guess a lot of people didn't like him for that, but like,
Yeah, Japan doesn't really like that. Like they're really perverted. A lot of like there's a lot of perversion in that country, but like they're also like got that other side of that where they're really traditional
oh
and don't
yeah,
like to like discuss shit like that at all.
their porn is sick and weird, but they still blur it. Like they blur
Yeah.
the fucking penises and shit. I think at this point they have like algorithms for porn that just automatically censor it.
Yeah, AI is going to be a really big problem for people under authoritarian regimes. And I don't think a lot of people are thinking about that yet, but yeah, like it's going to make like authoritarian regimes really efficient at oppressing people.
Wow. Yeah, I almost wanted to pull up the picture of this guy's the assassin. I wanted to pull up a picture of his shotgun, his like 9 barrel gun, but I feel like that might be a bad idea for YouTube.
Yeah, maybe.
So I feel like I'm probably not going to do that. If you want to look it up, I'd highly suggest it because it is fucking crazy. Just look up Shinzo Abe assassin gun, and you'll see the fucking Mad Max style monstrosity this guy created. I'm gonna look it up right now just because I want to see it. But yeah, it's crazy. The weird, like I don't know, when things like this happen, it makes me realize just how like dumb and uneducated I am about stuff. Because I didn't know who the fuck Shinzo Abe was before this happened, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, this is a huge deal. Like I literally had zero clue who this guy was. And then it's like suddenly, oh hey, this world leader, this extremely like powerful and well-known person has just been assassinated. All
Dead.
right, that's just the way it is. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. That's just the way it is.
Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. But yeah, that shit interested me too. I didn't know that he ended up dying though. That sucks.
Yeah, I kind of knew he was gonna die, or maybe was already dead, because the first report they released was like his heart is not beating. So I'm like,
It's
all
yeah,
right, so he's
probably not
dead.
alive.
Like,
Yeah, isn't that usually when they consider you dead?
yeah, everyone's fucking dying lately.
Yeah,
But
it tends to happen when, you got mortal people living in a mortal world.
yeah, but like shit, all these like we've hit another one of those patches where like a bunch of celebrities are dying. Like who died recently? It was like James Cain or James
Bob
Caan.
Saget.
Yeah, Bob Saget. Tony Sirico from The Sopranos died, which like that made me really sad because like after he died, like Twitter was going nuts and it was just talking about what a great guy he was, and I was like, "Oh, Paulie, bring him back,
Paulie. Poor Paulie.
fucking Paulie." Paulie had some good moments on that show. Paulie is literally the textbook definition of like a one note character, but he plays the one note he's given to perfection. Like, I love Paulie. I mean, you love Paulie
Oh,
in the same way you like all the Sopranos characters. Like, you like them from a writing standpoint, but as people, you kind of hate them because they're evil. Like,
yeah, that's the point. I don't know. People who get really into shows like that, like Rick and Morty, for instance, and like Breaking Bad, and they're like, "Yeah, I identify with this bad person," like that. They're like really stupidly missing the point of the show.
dude, I know it's I don't know, like it's kind of like if you were to watch like Mad Men and be like, "Oh, this Don Draper guy is so cool. Like he's just constantly getting laid. He's always smoking and drinking and cheating on his wife. He's awesome." And then like you hear the actor like John Hamm in an interview and he describes the character as a dismal and despicable person. So it's just
Yeah,
like,
and it's like, yeah, that's the fucking point, you
yeah,
know?
it's like these characters aren't meant to be emulated. They're just meant to be a part of a cool story. Like, shit. Dude, except Walter White. Like, if you don't want to be Walter White, I don't want to know you. If you don't wear tidy whities and you're just bald and you wear glasses and you have coughing fits, then I don't give a
My
fuck about that.
lung cancer is hurting me. Shut up,
That's
pussy.
that's just peak male performance.
Like it or not, Walter White is the peak man.
All right, spoiler alert, potential spoiler alert maybe, because I might spoil some shit from Better Call Saul. I haven't decided yet. But have you seen the new episodes? The two
I have
new ones?
not. I
Oh
have
my,
not, but yeah, I have not.
season 6 is so fucking good. It's so good. I literally like I can't even I'm like happy for Vince Gilligan and um the other guy, Peter Gould, I
The
think that's
other
his name.
guy,
But
you know that other dude.
I'm just like, damn, these guys are so fucking good at making shows.
Bro, there's a lot of really good TV show creators out there right now. Like, I feel like entertainment as a whole is just moving towards like the small screen.
Yeah, I don't know, especially since one of the last like big blockbuster movies we got was Moonfall. Remember Moonfall?
No, I didn't. Well, no, I've never even heard of that. What was that about?
Oh, holy shit. Moonfall was a movie that the internet couldn't stop talking about because it was so incredibly stupid. But it was one of those like so bad it's good movies. And have you ever heard of the director Roland Emmerich?
No.
He pretty much just makes all these like disaster movies. Like he made Independence Day and
Okay,
he
yeah, yeah.
made the movie 2012. So he made those movies, and now he made Moonfall. And the whole premise of Moonfall is that it's a disaster movie where the moon is about to crash into Earth and kill us all. But there's more to it than that. The moon is also a mega structure. But there's more to it than that. The moon is also an AI. But there's more to it than that. The moon has malicious intent, and it's evil, and it wants to crash into us and kill us.
What? I don't even like. I can't even respond to that.
There's a scene in the movie where okay, so nobody in the entire world knows that the moon is about to crash into us. Nobody, like, not a single government or, like, NASA or anyone picks up on this until
You know
this
how many
one.
people there are whose job it is to watch the skies for a living?
Yeah, no one, no one picks up on it until this one fucking, like, incel Reddit conspiracy theorist guy who, like, lives in his mom's basement. He, like, notices that the moon is out of whack and he makes a tweet about it. And the tweet goes instantly viral, despite the fact that no one knows this guy. He's not famous. He's just a basement dwelling fat guy. He makes this tweet and it goes viral, and then the whole planet goes into a panic. And that's how everyone finds out that the moon's coming to get us. So what they do is they're like, oh, okay, so we're gonna make a team of elite astronauts led by Halle Berry, because Halle Berry, nice NASA lady. And they do that, and they're like, so we're gonna go on a mission. I don't remember exactly what they were gonna do, but they were gonna like land on the moon and try to like blow it up or something, I think. so so like they find out that the rockets they're using don't have enough thrust to get to the moon. So keep in mind the whole fate of humankind lies in the balance. If they don't go on this mission, we are all going to die. So when they find out about this rocket problem, literally they have an announcer guy get on the intercom and he says, I just want to thank everyone for showing up, but the mission's been canceled. You can all go home.
What?
Yeah. But
That don't
then,
make no dang sense.
but then the moon is good because the moon actually helps us by we use the gravity of the moon to help the thrust of the rockets to reach the moon, and then the moon helps us. It's such it's an amazing movie. I will say this about Moonfall: the movie was like almost 2.5 hours long. It felt like 30 minutes. Like I was sitting there just laughing and having a great time. Highly recommend it.
We'll have to watch it on one of our little watch throughs one time.
Oh yeah, there is another scene where the fat conspiracy theory guy looks at a SpaceX poster and he literally says, "What would Elon do?" I think he actually says it twice. I think he says it twice in the movie.
That's
Yeah.
that's some bootlicking ass shit if I've ever heard it.
Plus, I don't know, the movie just hits all the boxes. It has that like blockbuster, blatant, fucking pandering to China shit going on, like all the Transformers movies. Oh, it's great.
It
It is
sounds good.
fun.
Sounds fantastic.
This might be a hot take, but I don't think I like any Roland Emmerich movies, unironically. Like, even Independence Day, like, dude, people love that movie. I just don't like that movie. Like, whenever I watch Independence Day, I'm just like, why don't I watch, like, an actual good sci-fi movie, like Terminator, or fucking Alien or something? Like, why am I watching this? Because it's campy. It's so campy. And it's not the right kind of campy. It's not like the Star Wars kind. It's the realistic, like we're trying to be immersive kind. And it doesn't I don't know. I don't really like that movie a whole lot. Hot take, because I know that people love the movie Independence Day. I don't.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long, long time. I liked it when I saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't think it's like objectively a bad movie. It's got really good actors in it too. Like Will Smith is at like the top of his game in that movie. The guy who plays the president was also an actor who was in something. I don't remember,
He
but
was
like,
also an actor.
but yeah, like the movie had like a good cast, but I just felt like the writing was just so fucking campy. Meanwhile, like I don't know, just watching that movie just makes me want to watch like Terminator 2 or something. Just be
I
like,
haven't seen any of the Terminators in a long time either. I need to start getting on like a classical movie
holy
rewatch.
shit. We're gonna watch Terminator 1 and 2 as soon as we get a chance. Because both of those movies are fucking masterpieces, especially Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is actually like the rare sequel that's better than the first one. It's so
I've
good.
heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, those are like old James Cameron movies. I don't think they were the first movies he made, but yeah, that was back when James Cameron made cool movies, not just like boring blue people CGI fests for 4 hours.
I'm kind of excited for Avatar 2 just because it'll be another fun ooh-ah experience in the movie theater.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, I'll go see it. I saw the first one in theaters like 3 times. So like the two movies that I've seen in theaters the most times are Avatar and Mad Max Fury Road. And Avatar was not out of choice. That was just because like there were all these different people in my family who wanted to see that movie, and they just kept dragging me to go. So I was just like, all right, I'll go see Avatar again in fucking IMAX 3D again. And then when it got re-released in theaters, I had to go see it again. It was nuts. I just could not get away from that movie. Mad Max Fury Road, that was 100% my choice because like me and my friends just kept like wanting to see that movie again because it was so good. Oh yeah, that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
It's all about Mad Max Fury Road.
Fury Road, mate. Fury Road.
Oh man, the Mad Max. I love the Mad Max franchise. It's like one of my favorites. And what's weird with Mad Max is like the first one has not aged well. Like even I have a hard time watching the first one because it has like really terrible audio mixing and it was just a a very low budget movie. But the sequel, Road Warrior, that movie is insanely good. I love the Road Warrior. That's probably one of my favorite movies. It's crazy like how much better it is than the first one when like it's got all the same people involved. I think the only difference was they had a higher budget. And then there was Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome. Can we talk about like how cool the Mad Max titles are too? Mad Max The Road Warrior, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Like those are some cool ass titles. I like that.
Yeah, those are very creative. I do like them.
The Lone Road Warrior. Fury Road
Oh.
wasn't a creative title, but the movie was fucking sick. Anyone out there who's never seen Mad Max Fury Road, you have it's just that's a movie everyone needs to see at least once. Unless you're an old like one of those like old kind of old-fashioned people, you don't like violence and crazy flashy stuff in your movies because it is a very 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 violent film. Like there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I've grown more. I used to be one of those guys that was like I can't watch gore in movies. It makes me like sick, but now I'm less of a pussy about that stuff.
When I was a kid, I thought blood and shit was scary. That's why I mostly just played like kids games, unless I was playing with my dad, and then we'd bust out like Resident Evil and like an actual adult game. But whenever I was playing by myself, yeah, I liked games like Mario and shit. Just like kind of really basic ass kids games. It wasn't till I was probably like I don't know, like 10 or 11 I finally started playing violent games. And I was like, wait, this is awesome. What have I been missing out on? And that's because my parents were kind of smart about it too, and my parents were like, yeah, you can play every game except GTA, basically, which is kind of a tortured philosophy because once you get around more video games, you realize that GTA is not the only violent game out there.
Yeah, like a lot of people do seem to think that that's like all that there is as far as like bad video games for
Yeah.
like kids. Like I knew so many kids that had that rule where it was like, yeah, I can pretty much play whatever I want except for Call of Duty or not Call of Duty, GTA.
Yeah, there were parents who had like those weird things where like they just wouldn't like a specific thing. They'd be like, I'm not gonna let my kid watch this. Which was weird. Like I noticed that a lot of kids when I was growing up weren't allowed to watch like one certain specific cartoon. Like, and it could be any
Yeah,
cartoon. Like for example, like be like, oh, I can watch anything except for Ed, Ed and Eddie. My parents don't like that show, so I'm not allowed to watch it. Or like, oh, I can watch anything but Billy and Mandy. My parents don't let me watch that show. And it was so weird. Like to this day, I don't even understand what our parents were doing. Like, I really don't. I mean, my parents weren't doing it, but I some other dumb shit parents were. They were just like, oh yeah. And it's just like, dude, if it's a cartoon made for kids, I mean, like, unless you just really don't trust Cartoon Network, like, shit, none of that stuff is like super dramatic. I'm all for
yeah,
parental supervision, but like it's weird to like just like single out a certain thing that's totally innocent and then misinterpret it and be like, "All right, you're not allowed to watch this."
I had a lot of cartoons I wasn't allowed to watch as a kid. My parents never let me do that. Like, never let me do, like, I should say, there was like a list of literal cartoons. Sorry, I'm really high. I'm having trouble articulating, but they never let me watch certain cartoons because they would see it like briefly and see something weird. And I swear it would always be the weird thing that happened when my parents were in the room. You know what I mean?
Oh
And they'd be
yeah.
like, "Yeah, you can't watch like Billy and Mandy was one of them. I think. I think they didn't let me like watch Adventure Time for a little while. There's a couple of them. They didn't like Courage the Cowardly Dog. They thought that was a really weird show.
Well, I mean, Courage the Cowardly Dog was a weird show, but it was intentionally weird.
Yeah,
Courage the Cowardly Dog had a very good message, a message that all children should experience.
which is
I
like,
mean, it was generic, but I mean, it was a good message for kids. Like, essentially,
pretty much like don't be scared.
yeah, I mean, the whole moral of the show is basically just like be okay with your imperfections. In a sense, it's your imperfections that make you perfect.
Yeah, and also just be like brave in the face of like scary shit.
Yeah, of
Um,
course. That's what courage. That's what he's all about. Like courage is he's always shitting his pants, scared, but it doesn't stop him from getting shit done.
yeah, I hated that show though. There's that one frame. You remember from that one episode where they had like a giant ghost in the distance swaying? That was like a frame that I specifically remember, and I hate.
The King Ramses curse episode
Yeah,
where
yeah,
he's
yeah,
like, "Return the slab." That episode scared everybody. It
yeah.
also
I
made
hated that
everybody
one.
hate Eustace that much more. Fucking Eustace. Imagine naming your kid Eustace.
Pretty common back in the day. That used to be a pretty common name.
But imagine like in the year like 2025 or something, like you have a son and you're with your wife and you're just like, babe, we've gotta name him Eustace, please.
His name is Eustace.
And then you just can't agree on it. So like you like you're the kid's whole life you're calling him Eustace and your wife's calling him something else. He just has like two names.
Fucking, that's pretty much what happened to my dad. Like his dad wanted to name him Glenn because his dad's name was Glenn, but his mom wanted to name him Chip. So his legal name is Glenmore Taylor the second, but he just goes by like Chip.
Does he have a chip on his shoulder? Ha ha!
Hey man, don't make fun of people. You need to be nicer, and I'm gonna teach you how to be nicer in my new course, Chase's Niceness course. Just be kind. Don't be rude.
That reminds me of like the Cinco business hugs tutorial. Here's how to give a proper business hug. See, that was just a bad hug. Improper form, not good for business.
Proper form, very good for business.
Well, we've been going for about an hour and 10 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
completely out of topics at this point.
Yeah, I pretty much like, so my list of topics I deleted and then didn't think I would forget them, and then I pretty much forgot all four of them, so I brought up the scooters and then I couldn't remember anything else.
Yes. Ooh, I have a cool idea for a video we can make. We can just, like, sit there and play the Revenge of the Sith game and just do a bunch of duels and, like, edit that into a video. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Trying to think of, like... Yeah, alright. I just had a random thought pop into my head. But yeah, that's... Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I just wanted to say how much I love you, man. Happy Father's Day. Thanks, Dad.
Alright, everybody, that's going to be the end of this week's episode of Big Boy District. Coming to you live from the hen house, whatever that means. But yeah, again, skipped last week's episode because busy, but this week we're coming in full swing. It's kind of weird. It sounds like I'm doing an intro right now, but this is the outro. Wait,
Let's start another episode right now.
outros are hard because it's like you just keep talking and talking, and it's like, fuck, where's the cutoff point? Like you just keep adding stuff. All right,
Exactly.
this is officially the cutoff point. Thank you for listening, ladies and
Goodbye.
gentlemen, and we'll talk at you next week.